My name is Reverend Roy Fry. I'm the Director of Service Ministries and the author of a book titled Getting Married in Illinois. In this Wedding Minute, we will examine the number one question most couples ask wedding vendors. I recently read a book that claims the most common question couples ask wedding vendors is, "What is your price?" My experience has been that this question is usually tied to couples asking, "Are you available for our wedding?" The author pointed out the reason couples ask the price question first is because it's the only thing they know to ask. Then went on to point out that it's because couples view a wedding product or a service as a comparison of apples to apples, or photographer to photographer, or DJ to DJ, or even an officiant to an officiant. Not knowing there is a difference between apples or photographers or DJs or officiants, couples often focus first on the price as the measure of value for their wedding. So let's compare some apples. One store is selling Red Delicious apples for 75 cents each, and the other store is selling Red Delicious apples for $1 each. If you are in the market for a Red Delicious apple, chances are you will shop around and purchase the 75-cent apple. That is, unless you understand why there is a price difference. In this example of apples, the reason for the difference in price is because there is a difference in the apples. The difference is not yet obvious, and unless you ask, you may not know that there is a difference in value until you make your purchase. Then you find that the Red Delicious apples may look the same, they are not. Consider the 75-cent apple. As you can see, on the surface it looks very much like the $1 apple. But what you may not know is that the 75-cent apple is last year's crop and is somewhat mushy on the inside. It lacks the juiciness and the snap that you would experience in a fresher, crisp apple. On the other hand, the dollar apple is not overripe. The $1 apple is carefully hand-picked. It is clean, is well formed, without internal browning or freezing injury. The $1 apple is graded US extra fancy. It is insect free, and the juice nearly runs down your chin when you bite into it. If you had known what to ask before you had purchased your selection, you would have been armed with the knowledge to make an intelligent assessment of the value of each of those apples. With the proper information, most couples would choose the $1 apple, since the 75-cent apple is obviously a poorer choice for value. So what do apples have to do with weddings? Well, apples can show you that it is important to ask more than just a price question when assessing the difference between goods and services for your wedding. That is, unless you have no choice but to settle for the 75-cent apple. The author I mentioned said not knowing what questions to ask often is the reason couples ask the price question first. Using the apples to apples idea, let's look at searching for a wedding officiant. The fee for the wedding officiant, say on the left, is 75 cents, and the fee for the one on the right is $1. Not knowing there may be a difference in value, you may simply choose the one for 75 cents. However, once you make a commitment to the one on the left, you may learn too late that it lacks experience, has a poor reliability history, gives you very little control over your ceremony, and is more focused on collecting a fee than delivering the service that you deserve. On the other hand, by asking about the history of both officiants, you find that the $1 officiant has independent reviews of other couples who have tried the $1 officiant. You may even discover that the value of the dollar officiant far exceeds your expectations. You may learn that the $1 choice has over 20 years of experience than the 75-cent choice and has performed over 1,000 weddings. By asking, you may learn the $1 officiant has well-formed experiences that assure your wedding will be delivered with professionalism versus the inferior to disastrous outcome you may get from the 75-cent choice. This sort of comparison should take place with every wedding professional that you encounter, whether it's your entertainment, your photographer, your florist, your reception venue. And in future Wedding Minutes, we may even look at some of those other choices that you may end up using for your wedding. But there is one aspect of all of this that makes selecting a wedding officiant very unique, and it's this. You are selecting the person to handle the legal part of your wedding as well. Let's look at some more apples. The apple on the left is priced at 75 cents, and the one on the right is priced at $1. While the one on the left is quite attractive, if you examine your apples closely, you will discover that the one on the left is a fake apple and would be a huge mistake to consume. For couples seeking integrity in their marriage, the Service Ministries website and the book titled Getting Married in Illinois offers questions to help you examine the legitimacy of the officiants that you're going to be finding in your searches. The resource on the website is free. Simply asking a few of the questions that you'll find there will help you determine which officiants are the artificial and which ones are genuinely authorized to marry you. If you found this Wedding Minute to be informative, please share it with your engaged friends. If you would like to receive more information or you would like to see more wedding tips, subscribe to the chicagowedding.org YouTube channel or register through the contact page at chicagowedding.org. If you have a topic that you would like to see presented, please let us know through our contact page at chicagowedding.org, serviceministries.org, or simply add your comment to the video blog. I would love to hear from you.